I've been asked to do number 48 from the 4.3 set, in which Phil and Phyllis are siblings, and Phyllis has twice as many brothers as she has sisters, and Phil has the same number of brothers as sisters. How many girls and how many boys are in this family? When I look at this problem, I think this is really a variation on the I'm thinking of a number style problem. Okay, so let's start organizing our information. We know they're siblings. Okay, so let's go here. So Phil and Phyllis are siblings. Okay, and I've misspelled Phyllis's name, so I'll fix that. There's an L there. Okay, we also know that Phyllis has twice as many brothers as she has sisters. Okay, Phyllis's brothers are double the number of sisters Phyllis has. Okay, and we know that Phil has the same number of brothers as sisters. Phil has the same number of brothers as sisters. Okay, so this first situation and the second situation are going to require us to understand a little bit about how many brothers and sisters there are, because that's ultimately our goal. All right, so when I look at this, so Phil has the same number of brothers as sisters. So then let's say S is sisters, okay, and B is brothers. Okay, one of those sisters is Phyllis, and one of those went from Phil's perspective. One of those brothers for Phyllis is Phil from. Okay, let's back up. So when I look at the question, Phil has the same number of brothers as sisters. The total number of brothers that Phil has is going to be B minus 1 because Phil's not included in that. So B minus 1 equals his sisters, which includes Phyllis. Phyllis is one of those sisters. So B minus 1, the number of brothers Phil has, which is the total brothers minus Phil, equals the total number of sisters Phil has, because one of those sisters is Phyllis. So I've got one of my equations. Now, Phyllis's brothers is double the number of sisters Phyllis has. So all the brothers, including Phil, are Phyllis's brothers. Okay, and that's going to equal twice the number of sisters Phyllis has. So that's 2. Now the number of sisters Phyllis has is the total sisters minus 1. So sisters minus 1. I now have 2 equations I can work with. So go ahead and pause and see if you can work out how to solve these. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and type. I'm going to copy these in now, and where I can work with them. So the first thing I need to do is I need to start simplifying things. Well, actually, I don't really have to, because if you look here at B minus 1 equals S, I've isolated the variable for S. So, hey, let's do substitution. I'll copy B minus 1 in and replace S with it. Okay, so I've got that equation that'll solve for B. Okay, so B equals, and I need to work out dropping this parentheses in here. It's kind of a complicated parentheses. So B minus 1 is just B minus 1. There's no coefficient that's multiplied times that in there. And then that's also minus 1. So I can simplify that further. Equals 2 times B minus 1 is minus 2. And then I'm going to distribute the 2 times B, so 2B minus 4. So I now have simplified that side of the equation. B was still over here the whole time. So B equals 2B minus 4. I'm now going to subtract 2B from both sides, and I'm going to get negative B equals negative 4. Okay, if the opposite B is the opposite of 4, then B is the opposite of negative 4. So we just reverse the signs on both sides. So the number of brothers is 4, and then we can go back and plug that in to this first equation here. B minus 1 equals S. So I've got 4 minus 1 equals the number of sisters. 4 minus 1 is 3. The number of sisters total is 3. So we go back to the question. The question asks how many girls and how many boys are in the family. And so there are 3 sisters, including Phyllis, and 4 brothers, including Phil. I hope that was helpful. I kind of like that puzzle. Hopefully you can see why I call it an I'm thinking of a number problem.